presidential activity during February 2020. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the Prime Minister, Assistant President of the Republic for National and Strategic Projects, Sherif Ismail, and the Minister of Petroleum. The meeting discussed the axis of the petroleum sector strategy and the most important achievements made in the sector during the last period. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Housing and Utilities, President Sisi directed extending efforts to develop slums in the various governorates of the Republic. The meeting dealt with reviewing of the executive position of the projects of the Ministry of Housing. President Sisi met with the Prime Minister, a number of ministers and officials. The meeting discussed the follow-up to the national strategy for settling the transportation industry and its components in Egypt, focusing on the future of the automotive and electric bus industry. President Sisi met with the Prime Minister, a number of ministers and senior officials. The meeting touched on following up developments of economic indicators, as well as presenting the actual growth rates of the Egyptian economy during the first quarter of this year. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and a number of ministers and officials, in coordination between the concerned authorities, President Sisi directed to take all necessary measures to modernize all aspects of the bakery system in a manner that ensures facilitation for citizens, with a focus in this context on the places and factions most in need. President Sisi received the Saudi Minister of State for African Countries Affairs, who delivered a written message to the President from the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, which confirmed the depth of historical relations between the two countries and the two brotherly peoples. President Sisi expressed Egypt's aspiration to continue mutual developing prospects of cooperation in various fields. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the Prime Minister and Assistant President of the Republic for National and Strategic Projects, Sherif Ismail, and a number of ministers and officials. The meeting witnessed a review of efforts to modernize the spinning and weaving sector, especially in terms of developing gin, equipment, and manufacturing. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi arrived in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, to participate in the Summit of Heads of State and Government of the African Union. The President stressed in his speech before the African Peer Review Mechanism Forum that the African Peer Review Mechanism is independent and is not subject to interference from inside or outside the continent. The President indicated in his speech during his participation in the session of the African Peace and Security Council on the sidelines of the summit that there will be no stability in Libya unless there is a means for a peaceful settlement of the crisis, calling for the continuation of dealing with the Libyan crisis based on his responsibility towards maintaining peace and security. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the Prime Minister of Canada. The meeting witnessed reviewing of ways to advance bilateral relations, with special care to the economic level, in light of the Egyptian efforts to improve the business climate and encourage the private sector and attract foreign direct investments. President Sisi met with the President of the Algerian Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, at his residence in Addis Ababa. The meeting witnessed an exchange of visions on a number of regional files of common concern, especially the Libyan crisis. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the Secretary General of the United Nations at his residence in Addis Ababa. The meeting witnessed discussions on the latest developments in the field of a number of files and regional issues, especially the situation in Libya and Syria and the peace process in the Middle East. The 33rd Ordinary African Summit, held in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa, was launched under the slogan "Silencing Guns, Creating Climate for Development in Africa." President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi presided over the opening session. The President delivered a speech at the opening session, saying that during the presidential period, Egypt was keen to carry out its tasks and face the challenges that were characterized by great momentum on various levels, adding that despite the growing challenges facing our continent, we have been keen to enhance the state of peace and security in Africa, and we value partnerships based on mutual respect between the African Union and the world. President Sisi handed over the presidency of the new session of the African Union 2020-2021 to the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa.